Thank you very much. I would also like to thank you for the invitation to this hearing. And I'm a bit humbled to be among so many Afghanistan experts. To be honest, I'm not an Afghanistan expert myself. I'm not very knowledgeable about development and research, and I'm definitely not a military strategist. I am interested in the development in South Asia, and especially also with the Taliban, because I am doing research into what is or has been labeled global terrorism. And my perspective or my research approach is to try to study these developments in these regions, especially in South Asia, as partisan war, guerrilla wars, and how guerrilla wars relate to terrorism taking place other places. How are they related? How are they combined, so to say? And my interest, therefore, has been for the last many years the development of militant groups in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and in the southern part of Arabia. I rely, when studying on this, on their own statements, on their own publications, and I also try to travel to the regions to speak with people and local experts, including researchers and media people. My interest in Taliban has developed more and more, and what I'm going to say now is in three parts. One part about Afghan Taliban, second part on Pakistani Taliban and relations to Al-Qaeda and Taliban, and thirdly about some few comments on the strategy made by Obama on December 2 at West Point Academy. And the relations between these militias and these countries, I think, is also underlined by this speech by President Obama. I think he mentions Pakistan as many times as he mentions Afghanistan in his Afghanistan strategy. Well, I think many people in the broad public have a picture of Taliban as a rather medieval, very fundamentalist, very primitive group. I think if we're going into study the developments of Taliban since 2001, we will find out that the group has been very, very clever of coping into strategic developments towards the coalition forces, developing new techniques both on the battlefield, but especially in the political and in the media arena. Taliban's ideology, which was well known while they were in government or having the regime in Kabul, has developed enormously due to the situation in Afghanistan. One simple and well-known example is the use of media, which they did not like during their own regime. Now they have developed a rather sophisticated media strategy with their own very developed homepage. You can go and read both in different languages, including English, where you can read daily news about who they killed, where, what losses, what they did, why they did, who they are, what they are thinking about, this and that, and all these things. You can also follow their magazine, Asamud magazine. I think the last number is 43, coming out with comments and interviews and analysis of the situation developing in Afghanistan. The Afghani Taliban, their aim is, and it is quite clear, to win back, so to say, Afghanistan to be the ruling force in Kabul. This is their aim. That is what their announcement is about, or are about, and how they do this and how they try to do that is, of course, military confrontation with the coalition. But I think this is one strategy among two other, maybe more important strategies, which is one political strategy to be much more rooted and embedded in the local communities in Afghanistan, not exactly in the battlefields in Helmand and elsewhere, but in the so-called secure areas where they try to get in and have influence locally, doing this by a lot of means, mafia-like means, by eliminating local government representatives, taking over law and order functions, like these moving around Sharia courts, taking on security for different groups, and thereby gaining the support or forcing support of locals. And I think this strategy has been very much focused and has had a success in that aspect, that we now know that the political representation of Taliban is also just outside of, for instance, Kabul areas, making it possible to do these kinds of attack which we saw on January 18 into Kabul. I also think that that in that aspect, it's have been very important for Taliban to consider how they relate to the different ethnic and religious groups in Afghanistan, as well as to civilians. They have been very keen not to represent themselves as Pashtuns, but as Muslims who offer some kind of unity Islam which should integrate all Muslims in Afghanistan. That's the commodity they want to sell, and also not the Pashtun nationality.